Good. So the next part, or the last part, is kind of a scenario. Let's think about an example where we want to build or design an IoT network, right? So you want to design a network that has the objective of remotely turning off and on indoor lights based on the natural light intensity outside. So you want an application that kind of turns off your lights and on automatically without you controlling it. The rationale is that you save power by switching off the lights when you don't need them. And the scale of the network, so the size of the network must be big enough to handle maybe 100 buildings. You have 10 flats per building, and you have around 3 rooms per flat, right? So the first question that we have here is we want to identify what sensors and actuators do you need? So what do you guys think?
Light sensor.
So you need light sensors, of course, to measure the natural light intensity. That's basically the types of sensors that you need. And what kind of actuators? What are you controlling?
The light inside.
Yeah, so you want to control the lights, turn them on and off. So you need some sort of either these remote controlled lights that are sold online, or you need at the plug where your lights are plugged in, you need to have some sort of remote control plug, right? Both of them are available online. You can buy them even off Amazon, but you need some sort of control that turns on and off your lights. Good, so these are the sensors and the actuators that you need to use. The second question is, what is the application requirements? So what is kind of like how the application works? So when do you take the decision to turn on or off lights? Okay, so you measure the light outside, and then at what point do you turn off the lights?
When the sun is shining, or when it,
so when the light intensity is higher than a certain value. Right, so it's kind of similar to the lights at the street. When the light intensity is less than a certain value, it automatically turns on. So this is kind of the application rationale or requirements. So you need to specify a certain threshold for this decision to be taken. And what is the communication requirement? So if you have a network that is on the scale of 100 buildings, what is the communication requirements?
It should be safe, so nobody else can turn the light on or off.
That's true. We're going to get to that in question number 5. But on the level of maybe size of the network. So if you have 100 buildings, can you do such a network with your home Wi-Fi network, for example?
Probably you need a bigger network.
Exactly. So you need a bigger coverage. So you can work with 100 buildings. That can be maybe like a 500-meter radius, which means that you need some technology, some wireless technology that covers a big area. And the second part of this question is how fast should this communication be?
Enough if it's
So okay, should it be like on the level of hours, minutes, seconds, milliseconds?
Minutes, I think.
Right, so
Yeah.
it should not be at the level of milliseconds because that's not really required, but also it should not be at the level of hours because then it kind of defeats the purpose, right? Maybe minutes should be good enough. I would say maybe 30 seconds because on some days you have like some time of the day is very cloudy, so you need lights on, and some part of the day you still have like the sun is shining. So you need to still be reactive, but you don't want to be too reactive, such that you're just using unnecessary resources, right? So good. Number 4 is data management and storage requirements. So do you need to store some kind of data? Do you need how much storage do you need for your data?
Maybe the only thing you would like store is the power you saved from turning off.
That's actually a very good idea. So if you have an energy storage device at home, then if you turn off the lights, then you can use this energy storage to store this energy that you're saving. That's a very good idea. But on the level of data storage, you don't really need to save any data. So this can be real time. It does not need to be based on some kind of machine learning or kind of like a statistical model. You just measure the lights outside and turn on and off the lights depending on that. Good. And then number 5 comes to the point that you mentioned earlier, which means that the network should be secure enough so nobody can access it from outside and turn on and off the lights at your home, which is very important. Good. So this is actually the last slide. So next time we will talk about IoT networks, physical layer and multiple access layer. We're going to talk about different IoT networking technologies and how you can use them and in which scenario do we use different IoT standards. And the lecture after that, we're going to talk about the applications that use IoT and which types of communication protocols do we use. So the second 2 lectures will be more focused on IoT networks. Good. So this is the end of today's lecture. Do you guys have any questions so far with this or previous lectures?
No.
No.
Good. How did you guys like the live session?
I think it's quite good. Yeah. Thank you very much.
No, thank you for being here.
I also think so, but I'm not sure if it is my problem or yours. The sound quality is not always that good.
The mic, yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I ordered a new mic, but it still hasn't arrived yet.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm aware of that problem. Thank you for mentioning it. In any case, we're going to have another live session in 2 weeks. And this part of the lecture will be also uploaded online, so you guys can watch it again. Okay, so thank you again for joining, and have a nice day.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.